find something you're interested in and try to figure out a way to volunteer and give back.
Hmm.
So throughout my whole career, I've spent lots of time in animal shelters,
Hmm.
volunteering in animal shelters, and just and also for various organizations that I like. I don't know. There's pick what you like, and there's some way to give back.
Hello, Blue Jays, and welcome to The Nest, stories about life after Manor College. I am your host, Kelly Pfeiffer, Vice President of Marketing Communications, and this is the best part of my day. My hope is that this podcast will encourage, inform, and inspire you, making you feel like at Manor College you belong here always. Before we get to today's guest, we are going to do something different. Today, we're going to introduce to you one of our students, the Nest's first ever Blue Jay Spotlight. A current junior at Manor College studying business administration, she is one of the hardest working people that I know, selfless through and through. Please welcome Natasha Moore.
Hi, my name is Natasha Moore. I am from Elkins Park. The high school I graduated from was Covington Academy in Covington, Georgia, and I am studying business administration. I found out about Manor when I was looking for schools. I needed something that was close to my job at the time, and I just searched up schools near me and I found Manor. For a career, I want to become a human resources business partner. The reason I want to do that is because HRBP strategically align the company's goals along with the initiatives of the employees as well. I feel that Manor has prepared me for a career. Being a presidential ambassador in student senate, I have gotten comfortable talking with people not only on one-on-one but in a group setting as well, which is important as a human resource professional. You need to be able to talk to people, which I had a hard time doing before. So those are some ways that Manor helped prepare me for my future career. My advice for incoming students is to take the time while being in college to get outside of your comfort zone, to seize new opportunities you probably wouldn't have seized before, because the outcome could always be something better than you expected. Something that some would be surprised to learn about me is that I am an introvert. People keep telling me not to say that anymore, but I really am. I hate ketchup. That's one too. Manor College, you belong here.
Today's episode of The Nest is sponsored by the Manor College Program of Veterinary Technology. Do you see a best friend in every creature? Are you passionate about caring for animals? Do you love healthcare? Then you are ready to turn your passions into a profession with the Veterinary Technology Program at Manor College. Our program is fully accredited and designed to give you real-world skills that you need. You won't just study from a book, you'll get hands on experience in labs, facilities, and out in the fields, learning everything from patient care and surgical assisting to lab procedures. Manor College connects you with dedicated faculty and the industry knowledge that employers are looking for. In just a few years, you could be a certified veterinary technician, CVT, making a real difference in the lives of animals and their families. Visit manor.edu/vet tech today and learn more and apply. That's manor.edu/vet tech. Coming up, we have a very special guest. She is a proud alumna who grew up in Feasterville, Pennsylvania, and attended Archbishop Wood High School. After starting her college journey, she chose to focus on veterinary technology at Manor College, ultimately earning her associate's degree in 1999. After Manor College, she transferred to Penn State. Her story is a testament to perseverance. She is a first generation college graduate and actually went to Manor twice. She started in 1986, finishing her coursework in 1988, and then transferred but didn't complete her practicum to officially graduate. She returned to Manor 10 years later in 1998 to complete her practicum, officially graduating in 1999. That pivotal moment allowed her to get fully licensed and jump into her career. Today, she puts her expertise to work as the clinical infectious diseases laboratory manager at the Ryan Veterinary Hospital at the University of Pennsylvania. Please give a warm welcome to Michelle Traverse. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Kelly.
Thank you for being with us today. It is an honor to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure to be here.
So, can you start us off by sharing why did you choose Manor College? How did you first hear about Manor? Kind of take us back to that thought process you went through.
Well, I being a first generation college student in my family, I didn't really have a lot of help in figuring these things out. And Manor College is actually quite close to Feasterville, so it's just around the corner from where I grew up. And I guess I just wasn't ready to go off to college, move away and go off to college. So I decided that I would like to commute to college and kind of get a feel for it. So I liked Manor because it was neat, close and comfortable, but also small, and it didn't feel overwhelming. Also, I didn't really know what I wanted to study. So I kind of looked at a list of things that I could study. And instead of having a focus of like, this is what I want, I looked at the list and was like, this is what I know I don't want. And veterinary technology, I didn't even actually really even know what it was exactly, but it seemed interesting. I liked the science part of it. So I just decided I was going to go for it. And it turned out to be my lifelong career.
Wow, I love that it started through like a process of elimination, starting with like, I don't want any of these. So what's left? You
That's
must,
exactly what happened. I
yeah.
was like, accounting, no, business, no, this, no. And then it just kind of left me with the sciences.
Wow, that's great. So you must have had a passion for animals, I would assume. Have you always loved animals and kind of where does that come from?
Well, I have a passion for just the natural world and biology. Think of it as it's a little bit of a puzzle, and I like puzzles, and I just like figuring them out.
Mm-hmm.
And so veterinary medicine in general fits that bill very well. Like it's all just one big puzzle to me that needs to be sorted out.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. We had a guest on the show, Marianne Evans, just last episode, and she talked about like when you go into vet tech, you have to like have a passion for animals, but you also have to love healthcare and science, and like you just can't be one or the other. It has to be this combination of those things. Um, so I love that you're describing, you had a passion for the natural world and biology and obviously this big puzzle that you're trying to always put that next piece in and trying to solve. So what was your Manor college experience like?
Well, it was great. And when I went there in 86, the vet tech program, I'm guessing, was quite young and quite new. There were just a few of us. There were 7 people in the program at that
Oh
time.
wow. Mhm.
Yeah, so we were just like a little pack of people that all
Yeah.
like traveled everywhere together. We went everywhere together. We were always together, just these 7 people always together. And so it was just a little family unit, really. We studied together, we hung out together, went on field trips together. So it was just a very intimate com- even more than a community, more like a family, really,
Sure.
of
Yeah.
siblings even, because we were all just college kids.
Mhm. Yep. We call that kind of in the higher ed world, we call that cohorts. Like students do better in college, they retain better, they have better grades, they have better experiences, they get in less trouble when students are a part of a cohort. So whether it be a team, a club, a program, whatever that cohort might be, it sounds like you had your own little cohort. So you studied at Manor in 86 and then you were so close to get graduating, but you didn't quite get there right away. What happened there?
Yeah, so I think the other 6 people actually did graduate and I did not. I just got it in my mind that I wanted a bachelor's degree. I don't know why I thought that. I just thought I wanted a bachelor's degree. So I transferred to Penn State and I just took those 2 years of course credit that I had with me and
Yep.
kind of a thought maybe I was abandoning vet tech. And I did go on to Penn State and I graduated. I had a little catch up to do. So it took me 3 years to graduate from
Mhm.
Penn State, but I did do that. And in the meanwhile, I did try some different things. But ultimately, I ended up back working at a veterinary hospital. And so back then, in the late 80s, early 90s, you could do a lot more. You didn't necessarily need a license.
Mhm.
But there became a point where it became obvious that there was a ceiling to this and that there was no way I was ever going to progress any further in vet med if I didn't have a license. So that's when I realized you better go back and get that license. And by
Mhm.
then, the rules had changed, and an only way you could was to graduate from an accredited program. And prior to that, you could be grandfathered in if you had a certain amount of practical hands-on experience. But the state of
Mhm.
Pennsylvania did away with that rule and said, nope, you have to graduate from the accredited program. And I had never done that. So that's when I contacted Manor the second time. That was when,
Gotcha.
at that point, 10 years later, that was when Dr. Bassert was now running the program. That's when I met her.
Sure. Sure. Wow. Wow, that's I mean, I'm glad that you found your way back to Manor, but that's just kind of a crazy journey that you were really close to getting that certification and then decided to go get a bachelor's, and congrats on doing that. That's wonderful, but then still had to come back to it. So I guess in your heart, did you always know like, all right, well, vet tech, this is going to be my career, or was there kind of twists and turns along the way?
There were some twists and turns along the way. And back to one of your original question of you must have always loved animals. Interestingly, not really. I mean, sure, we had a family dog growing up and that sort of thing, but no, it really was never about that for me. It was really about the science. I just liked the medicine aspect of it. And while I was at Manor the first time, that was when I got my first job at a veterinary clinic. And it was
Mhm.
because a classmate of mine had a tip on a clinic near my house that was going to hire. And so I got that job. And I just was kind of a natural at it. It was just good at it. And it felt right. It felt like something I could be successful at. So after I tried some different things and when, tried different, during my time at Penn State, tried some different things. I don't know, I just circled back around because I guess I just never got the same sense of satisfaction as I
Mm.
did working in veterinary medicine.
Yeah, that's great. So, how what is a common myth or misconception about vet techs that you've heard or that makes you roll your eyes, kind of thing, that you want to like set the record straight? What's something that people get wrong that they think they know about vet techs?
That the job is easy, and also that like we spend all day long like playing with puppies and kittens.
Sure.
When you meet somebody and you tell them what you do, they say, oh, that must be so much fun. It's actually very hard work. It's very,
Yeah.
very hard work. It's a very physically demanding job, so I don't know that people really understand that.
Hmm.
And I laughingly say, like, when people say, oh, you must love animals, I say, well, I like mine. Yours is trying to bite me, but mine
Right.
are okay. I
Right.
also The other thing that I thought years ago, and it really does stick, is that veterinary medicine is like pediatrics, if you
Mm.
think about it. So it's like you have a patient that doesn't understand what's happening, and attached to that patient, you have a very emotional person. So if you
Hmm.
just approach veterinary medicine like pediatrics,
Yeah.
then it makes more sense. Like people can understand that better
Mm.
when you relate it
Yeah.
to how a child would behave at the doctor's.
Hmm. Yep, that's a good way to describe it for sure. Um, when you were saying, "Oh, I like mine," I immediately thought like about like, children, and you assume teachers, like teachers, you must love kids, and then they're like, "Well, I like my own kids,"
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
kind of idea, but they love education or they love, inspiring, and maybe they also obviously love children too. But that's a really good way to describe it. And I have heard that vet techs is a very physically demanding job. It's a ton of hard work. It also can be quite sad from what I hear,
Yes.
to work in the animal industry like that. But also, it's rewarding. It's work that needs to get done. It's to me, it's service. And it's very, I would say, like mission focused on trying to help, not just cats and dogs. It's a lot of other types of animals as well, from what I understand from our students. So Thank you for what you're
Yes.
doing, because
I do.
it's really impressive.
Well, thank you. I do try to. I work with a lot of students still at the university, and I try to tell them, remind them, like, we're not in retail, but we are in a service industry. It's the same. Like, it's a lot of it is the same. Like, you have to don't lose your service mind
Yeah.
set when you get lost in the science.
Yeah, bedside manner is still important and all that kind of stuff for sure.
Yes.
So Michelle, tell us about what do you do at the Ryan Veterinary Hospital and kind of how has your career grown over the years to what you're doing today?
So for many years, probably a good 20 plus years, I worked in small animal practice. Towards the end of that run, I was a technician in, I guess you would equate it to like a med surge unit in a human hospital. So it was a treatment, we call it the treatment room, but also surgery. So I spent all day doing surgery with the doctors and, recovering those patients and the pre and the post op, which is a lot of like this. The doctor comes in for the procedure, but the pre and the post op is what the nurses take care of.
Sure.
Technicians, otherwise known as nurses.
Mhm.
So then I just decided, I got this idea in my head that I wanted to work at the University of Pennsylvania. So I set my mind on that,
Mhm.
and I took a job that it wasn't a clinical job at all. I became the infection prevention coordinator for the hospital, which is just, it's big. It's common in human medicine. It's becoming more common in veterinary medicine. It's just basically how to protect animals from hospital acquired infections,
Mm.
how to prevent humans from becoming ill because of whatever diseases patients might have.
Mhm.
So there's a whole level of biosecurity around all that. So I took the job in biosecurity at Penn Vet just because it was a new challenge. I
Mhm.
kind of felt like I had done the other work for a long enough time that I had, been there, done that.
Mhm.
And then while in that position, it was very closely linked with the microbiology lab here at the hospital. And so while in that position, I got exposed to the laboratory side of things
Mm.
and the diagnostics involved in how diseases are, how we figure it out. So eventually, after about, I don't know, 8 years or so, a position in a lab became available. And I had already known the person who ran that lab. And so
Mhm.
she approached me and said, like, hey, this position is coming available. If you want it, you can have it. So I just made a lateral move over into the laboratory about 10 years ago. And I'm never leaving. This is it for me. I'm staying until my career is finished.
Mhm.
I'm pretty close to being eligible to retire at this
Yeah.
point. But I love it. I love the diagnostic lab, and I feel like it's work that is very important,
Mm.
and we produce a result that somebody actually cares about.
Mm.
And so that to me is important work.
Yeah. That's
Um,
measurable. It's impactful.
it's measurable, it's
Mhm.
impactful, and so I'm very serious that we are producing the most scientifically accurate, relevant results we possibly can. So at this point, I'm the laboratory manager. So there
Mhm.
are two veterinarians above me who run the place, and then I manage the day-to-day operations for them. And then there are four technicians underneath of me.
Oh, okay. Nice. You got a good kind of like back to your cohort model. You got your team, you got your cohort, got your people, you know?
Got my people. Yes, exactly. We're a
That's cool.
really nice team. It's a good team we've got.
That's great. That's such a good feeling too. Well, that's so neat to show that like how having a vet tech degree can take you so many places. I talk to a lot of vet tech alumni and whether they get other certifications, whether they go into, surgery or private practice or farm care or exotics, like there's so many different fields out there. It's just really neat that they all can kind of start in the same program and then like branch off. I think it's really cool to show that our students, like there's so many opportunities in the vet tech field. Michelle, I want to switch gears for a minute just because
Sure.
um, you have come out to several of our alumni events at the Phillies games. And
Yes, I have.
so I want to talk Phillies for a minute with you because we're at a critical moment in the year here for us Phillies fans. In my family, this is one of the longest weeks of the year because there's no Phillies games. So
I know, I know.
we are all like, what are we supposed to do every night until Saturday? But we run an annual Manor night at the Phillies, typically in the summer, either July or August. And Michelle not only has come to the last 2 years of this, but she brings a whole crew of people. And it's great to see just alumni come out, friends come out, family come out. So, how are you feeling this Red October? What are you thinking is going to happen? What are your predictions?
I think that the team is doing excellent, and I get so I've decided, being from Philadelphia, everybody wants you to be an Eagles fan, and I decided, baseball is really my thing. Like, sure, I'll watch an Eagles game; it's good, but
Yeah.
I just like baseball,
Yeah.
and so I think we have the potential to go all the way. I really, truly do, and I'm looking forward
Mhm.
to seeing them play in the World Series again.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Michelle. I grew up in a family, and my husband, they are all like all Philadelphia, everything, all the teams, and I've kind of decided, like you, like I'm gonna put my energy into one team, and I've chosen the Phillies as well. I love baseball, so I'm with you. I really think this is a good year. Let's not have a repeat of last year in the postseason. But I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very nervous. We have a whole week off, and they're not gonna be playing as much. So you're just like, oh gosh, are we gonna get cold? Are we gonna hit the ball? We have to hit the ball. We need some offense. So we'll
I know,
see.
and like now, everything counts so much more because every round is going to be an elimination round.
Exactly. We don't have any wiggle room to like have any mess ups, and we don't have Zach Wheeler, so that makes me. But our pitching has been pretty good. My I have a 6-year-old son who's really into it, and it's been so fun to like just have him be into it. And we took him to a couple games this year, and he wants to stay for the ninth inning to see the Duran, spectacular with the spider and the lights and the tarantula. My son is obsessed with it. He loves watching it and loves just saying, "Mom, we have to stay for the ninth inning." And I'm like, "I know, but I want to beat the parking." He's like, "I don't care. We have to stay."
Yeah,
So,
the first time I saw it, I was with my sister and we were laughing. We were calling it the spider walk,
yeah, yeah.
because I didn't expect the whole tarantula thing, and I was like, "What
No,
is going on?"
it is apparently they're rolling out new things with that for the postseason. So I'm sure it's going to get crazy. Well, good luck to you this October. I know us all Phillies fans are like just going to be biting our nails at home, very
It, it,
nervous, but
it it's
it's
so
such a
funny
fun
that
team to follow. And it's been great to see
I
you out at the games. Thank you for supporting Manor in that way as well. I appreciate that.
I was glad to get the invite because I wasn't sure if you were going to be running the same types of events every year after year, and then I got the invite and I was like, "Yay!" And then just so happens that this year it was my birthday, so I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I definitely this is what I want to do for my birthday," and that's how I
Yeah.
ended up with an entourage
Cool. Band
because
birthday
it just so
party.
happened to fall on
Yeah.
my birthday. Yeah,
Well, perfect. Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. We've tried a couple of other teams, but the Phillies tend to be the biggest turnout for us. So we're hoping to keep that again for next year. Michelle, as kind of
excellent.
my final question to you is just
Yes.
what advice would you give current Manor students who are whether they're studying vet tech or not, just they're currently studying and going out throughout their college career. What advice would you give for them as someone who's been through it a couple times and kind of on the other side of that?
I thought about this. I thought because I knew you were going to ask me this question because I've listened to other episodes, and so I did think about this. And I have two things. One is when I was at Manor both times, I utilized the Learning Center quite a bit. So that's one bit of advice is go to the Learning Center. If you're having trouble, if you need help, if you need advice, try the Learning Center because the people there are great and they really do want to help you figure things out. And so, yeah, before you decide that you can't or won't, try the Learning Center.
Mhm.
And the other thing I thought of as far as my career in veterinary medicine and just in life is find something you're interested in and try to figure out a way to volunteer and give back.
Mm.
So throughout my whole career, I've spent lots of time in animal shelters,
Mm.
volunteering in animal shelters, and just and also for various organizations that I like. I don't know. There's pick what you like, and there's some way to give back
Mhm.
in that field. So that's my other, and it's also a great way to meet people, maybe meet like-minded people, people who have great similar ideas, or it's an interesting way to network with people. So that's what I want to encourage people to do is find organizations that you respect and want to support and figure out a way to volunteer and give back.
Yeah.
And
What
it's
what
it'll
what great
help
advice.
it'll help enrich your life, and it'll help you meet like-minded individuals, and
Mhm.
it just feels good.
Yeah, it does. It does. It feels good to give back. It feels good to serve. And if you can align that with something that kind of like hits you in the heart, hits you at home in your core values, I mean, even better. And right, you'll meet people that are like-minded like you, have the same interests as you, and kind of all those things. And I totally echo the learning center. I always tell students like you should be going to learning center, even if you're doing well in your classes. Still meet them, get them to help you. There's no harm in it. It's free. It's a great service. We offer so many good services here for academic support, tutoring, writing center, time
Mhm.
management, personal counseling. We have a food pantry. We have a career closet. We have a safe fund for students who maybe need help on a bill or two at home. We have so many wraparound services, and it feels like every year we're adding more services to that wraparound. I mean, students but students have to take advantage of it. That's the thing. You can't make them use it. But we are here and we are ready to like just jump right in. Thank you, Michelle, so
Absolutely,
much
and
for
yeah.
being such a great embodiment of our mission. I think everything that you've shared with me today really just reminds me so much of our mission. Our mission is to serve students so that they grow up to be people who serve society effectively and compassionately. And you are doing that to a T. So thank you so much for just really living out our mission that we're trying to do here at Manor College.
Well, thank you also, because Manor helped me make it happen.
Yeah, that's great. Well, have a good one, Michelle. We wish you nothing but the best. And of course, go Phils. Thank you for tuning in today. If you like what you heard, listen and subscribe on Spotify or YouTube and stay up to date with all new episodes by following Manor College on Instagram at Manor College. And that's a wrap on another episode of The Nest stories about life after Manor College. Remember, Blue Jays, you belong here always.